Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead. Welcome to Thankful Thursday. So today, I'm having a hard time on how to discuss this or how to even talk about it. All I heard was acceptance. And I'm like, I'm even in the bathroom and I'm like, you can help me a little bit with this. Because I'm really not quite sure what I'm supposed to say. Or do, or anything like that. So I picked out a few Bible verses, and then hopefully I can figure out from there where to go. 1 Peter 3:8. Finally, all of you, be like-minded, be sympathetic, love one another, be compassionate and humble. Romans 2:11. For God does not show favoritism. Thank goodness. First Thessalonians 5:11. I can't get it out today. Therefore comfort each other and edify one another, just as you also are doing. And 1 Peter 3:8. Finally, all of you be one mind, having compassion for one another, love as brothers, be tenderhearted and be courteous. And I wrote some other stuff down too, but we'll get to that. So let's go to prayer, and hopefully everything comes to me. Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing everybody in today. I so appreciate each and every one of them, and I appreciate that you look over each and every one of them. Whether believers or not, or if they believe a different way, I ask that you wrap your arms around them. Because no matter what, you love them, and you want them in your life, and you want to be in theirs. Thank you for everything that we get every day, everything that we achieve, everything that we do. Thank you for that. I know in my prayers I always tell you, thank you for everything that you do, everything that you are, and everything you allow me to be. And I think that for all of our people that are here in this wonderful, beautiful community, if there's people out there hurting or they need your help, I ask that you wrap your arms around them and lift them up and carry them until they can stand on their own. Know that we love you, we trust you, and we honor you. All of this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. I have been home from the kids for over an hour. And I'm just, I don't know. Sometimes I hear a word and I'm like, ugh, what do I say? What do I say? What do I say? Okay. So let's start with what we're going to make today, and then, maybe something will come from it. All right. So we're making 4-ingredient applesauce cookies. We need a cup of peanut butter. Look at Kyle up the peanut butter. I do want to say, the other day, I've never met my sister-in-law, so if you're watching, I appreciate you. And she made me a comment on my Facebook about our video last week. And boy, that really meant a lot to me, and I appreciate it. So thank you. Then we need the main course. A cup of applesauce. Then we need a cup and a half of oats. I know I got one out here. I was going to make something else, but I'm trying to use up certain things that I have in my pantry. I have a lot of applesauce, and I'm not really the biggest of applesauce fans. So I thought, if I can figure out some stuff to make with it, that would be great. And then we need 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. Look at that, it's so cute. Alright, now we're going to get all that mixed together. I mean, I do have my oven preheating to 350 too as well. I was reading on here about a few different things as I'm mixing this together. It says acceptance doesn't mean liking, wanting, choosing, or supporting. And, you know, I think about things like, as Christians, we're supposed to love everybody, you know. But do we have to believe in everything that they believe in, or like some people says their truths or whatever? Because I'm one that, you know, I'm not trying to be weird or anything, but I don't believe there's such a thing as my truth. There is the truth, and that's it. So maybe I'm weird. I don't know. But I don't think that we have to accept everything that someone does to love them, to care for them, to, you know, be in their lives. I just don't think that we have to do that. We can disagree at things. It doesn't mean that we don't love one another, or, you know what I mean? I don't think we have to do that. Any other time that he would have my cookie stuff over here, and today he doesn't. 1 second, guys. So I've decided I'm going to do bigger cookies. Maybe not quite that big, but that's all right. Then we only got to send one to work with them, right? Those are going to be some big cookies. But you know, I would think that these would be good as a breakfast cookie too. You know what I mean? That they would be healthier for you than some things you could find to eat. I would think anyway. I'll see, now I'm not filling it up. I just want to tell you guys, with the last few weeks, well, it's been the last few months anyway, of stuff that I've been going through. And I do want to tell you guys, you're really helping me get through it a lot. Because the main thing is getting it out, you know what I mean, and talking it through. And I think that's the best way for you to get things cleared up in your head and in your heart. You got to talk yourself through it, if that makes sense. Hopefully these don't all stick together. They do have them pretty close together now. Alright. I'm going to put those in the oven. Put that over there. Peanut butter, what a mess. Alright. And this is just water. Today was donut day for the kids. So I always get a big water, because Dunkin' Donut charges you for water. So I always get a big one. Alright. Acceptance is an active process. It must be practiced. Alright. Okay. Now I know why I'm talking about this. I don't read these things before I print them off, so. 3. Acceptance doesn't mean that you can't work on changing things. Acceptance doesn't mean you're accepting it's going to be that way forever. And 5 is, we can practice acceptance towards the experience, people, appearance, emotions, and ideas, and more. Yeah. Through this process of what's going on, I am coming to the acceptance that this person that I love very much is not going to be in my life. And it's not just my choice. Well, she made it for me, and I just have to accept it. I think that we have to learn acceptance, not just in, my hair feels like it keeps getting in the way, not just in relationships, but in jobs, in, everything that we do. There's certain things that we accept and certain things that we don't. I think that we should accept people even if they're different. You may not like their lifestyle or things that they do, but you should still accept them and still accept that they're human beings and that we're supposed to love people and supposed to care for people. I've had a couple of people, email me on Facebook and stuff, and if you have hate in your heart, that's not a good scene. You know what I mean? That just isn't. You have, no matter what life throws at you, whether it's good, bad, and different, we have to accept it, right? I mean, we have to accept it at that moment and then that time. Now, can we try to alter things and fix things? Of course, always. Like, you accept an E on your test, and the teacher says, hey, you can retake that test. You're going to try, and you're going to try to do better so that you at least pass the test. So I believe that part where, you think that it's not going to be a forever thing. That sometimes you accept things because you think it could be, or it can be better. That makes a lot of sense. Because, when I left here, I've lived here longer now than I ever did as a kid, but when I left here, I didn't have anything. Nothing. 2 cents in my pocket, no job. My dad had taken my car. I went and stayed a few blocks down with some people that I knew, and they partied like crazy. It was nuts down there. So I pretty much lived in my car after I got my car back. And, had I accepted that was going to be my life, maybe it would have been. But I kept thinking, life has got to be better than this. I mean, I know that it's going to be hard, but it can't be like this forever. Like you can't sleep in the bag of 72 Cutlass forever. You just can't do it. So you keep striving to do better. Sometimes I think we accept things and I don't know how to put it. We accept things and we don't expect it to get better. When someone's dying or whatever and they say, hey, your time is coming up, we accept that and we deal with it and work with it and whatever, and we mourn it, do all those things. But sometimes, like, you get into an abusive relationship, toxic relationship, whatever it happens to be, and you think that it needs to stay there because you've accepted that, well, that's just how it's going to be. I've learned through this journey, sometimes you learn who people really are, and you've accepted it for years, and just because you love them and you're supposed to. Then one day you wake up and you go, you know what? This is toxic. I don't have to accept it anymore. And is it hard? Yes, it is. But I think that, anyone that's ever been in an abusive relationship, whether it's family or, your spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it happens to be, after a while, it's like it's beating us down. Even if it's not an actual beating, you know what I mean? It like tears us down and makes us into somebody that we don't want to be. Like, I think about the person that I am now compared to the person I was when I was married. And that person's completely different. And not for the bad either. Like, I've grown so much as a woman, and I don't know if it's because of my age or because I'm out of a certain circumstance or what it is, But in the beginning, after my divorce, I kind of thought, well, I'm never going to be happy again. And, you know, and then I realized, well, because, you know, honestly, I thought about it because I've always been a big girl. And I'm like, what man's ever going to want me? Well, let me tell you what, any of you girls out there that are chunky, a lot of men. So I think, I know what's going through my head, but putting it out through here is different. But I think that we do have to accept our lives the way that it is. But I think that we can, you know, try to better it and learn from it. You know, if we go through life, and like my grandparents used to tell me all the time, if you didn't learn anything today, you're not growing, you're not getting older, you're not, you know, you're not improving. If we don't learn the things that are important for us, not just for our well-being as far as like financial, blah, 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 whatever, but for our hearts, for our mental, for our, you know, everything, we have to reassess that and know that that is not the lifestyle we have to live. You know, are we broke today? Sure. But you get paid tomorrow. You know what I mean? So there's always that chance that, you know, you can accept today for today, but know that tomorrow can always be a better day. You know, tomorrow, if you wake up, it's a better day. Some days it doesn't feel like that, does it? It feels like, you know, and sometimes it's hard to get up and to be in a good mood and whatever because it's just been, but you know what? We don't have to accept that. We can accept it for the day. Go to sleep and then wake up and go, you know what? Things are going to change and things are going to be good. And you know, it's not just in abusive or toxic relationships. You know, like, you have to accept where you are in life. And do you want to progress past that, if it makes any sense? I don't know if I'm making any sense. That's the one thing I hate about my Thankful Thursdays is, like, I never know if I'm making any sense at all. I just go by whatever word I hear in my head, and then I'm like, okay. But today was tough. I was just like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say. And then, like, I thought about what my sister-in-law said, and then I thought about what a couple other people said, and I want what I say to mean something. I want what I say to touch somebody, even if it's just one person. I want it to be where that one person goes, oh, she's talking directly to me today. And that, you know, not only may it help you with your situation, but I want to bring people closer to God. I'm not that super Christian. I just think that we're supposed to talk about Him once in a while and you know, let people know and let people see Him through us. Because it's not like, you know, He just, well, He might be walking next to me right now. I don't know. He could be. Wouldn't that be nice? You could just reach over and tug on his outfit and go, it's been a bad day. Get me through it. Wouldn't that be so nice? But actually, even though we can't physically do that, we can always talk to Him. You know, my prayers, like I pray in front of this and I pray at night. Well, I fall asleep most of the time. But anyway. And I thank Him in the morning and whatever. But I don't really think of my prayers as prayers. I think of them as I'm having a talk with my dad, my best friend, my father, my protector, my everything. And I'm not super religious, believe me. I cuss like a sailor, and I'm not always the best of persons, you know. I mean, I think we all have those days. But my heart is pure. especially when it comes to God. So acceptance. I accept that sometimes I just ramble on for no reason. I accept that, you know, right now everything may not be perfect, but someday it might. And I accept that I have amazing community, and I truly do love you guys. And you know, Bruno said it today, you know, it's the quality of the people. It's not always the numbers, and he's right. I have an awesome group, and I know all of us out in YouTube land say the same thing, but I really do. It's like you guys, like, you get me. You know me. And if I'm down that day or whatever, you're like, come on. You got this. You know what I mean? And I've never had such great cheerleaders in my life, and you guys are really that. Yeah. So I think maybe that's what I was supposed to say, is acceptance is you can accept for the way the things are now. But know that if you want them to be better, it can be. You can make even the worst of situations the best in your life. And maybe you accept that there's certain people that won't be in your life anymore. And that's okay too. Because, you know, like, I truly believe when they say about God, you know, when one door closes, another opens. And that person can't ever be replaced, believe me, never. But there's an awful lot of people that are going to love you. They're going to accept you for who you are. I just thought of another reason why I was supposed to do this. I'm not going to cry. Know that people need to love you for you. Accept you for who you are. Good, bad, indifferent, whatever it happens to be. They need to love you for you. And if they don't, it hurts you and it tears you apart. But that means you also have to love them for who they are. I think that, you know, when you first get married, you know, like, I remember with my first husband, I wish you'd do this differently, that differently, whatever, but you know what? If you need to change them that much, they're probably not the one for you. You know, does Tom drive me crazy once in a while? He does. He jokes around a lot. And sometimes you just want to go. But, and him and Jack, it was funny. Because this same person told me that I don't treat him or Jack very well. And I'm like, nobody ever sees when they gang up on me together. And they did that last night. And they were both sitting there laughing their tails off. And I'm like, that is not funny. You know how it's funny when you dish it but don't get it back? That's not good. But, yes, Belle, they can hear you. Accept who you are. Accept who other people are. You know, I think, especially in this, oh, they're starting to look really good. They're kind of flattened, which I shouldn't have done that properly, but that's okay. Especially in this last election, you know, everybody was calling each other names and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And as Christians, we should just love everybody. It's not for us to judge who someone else is or what lifestyle they do. You don't have to agree with it, and you don't have to live it. And for the people that believe opposite of you, you don't have to put it out there and you know what I mean? It's like there's so many people in the world that brag about who they are and what they need. The people forget that they're not the only ones in the world. Like, you have to think about everyone as a collective and what's best for everybody. And sometimes that's hard to do. I don't know where that came in at, but anyway. I'm going to let these finish. and then we'll be back and we'll do a taste test. Alrighty, so the cookies are done and cooled down a little bit. I'm cooking rice for tonight. You can definitely taste the peanut butter in them. They're good. If you like peanut butter, they would be good. I think they'd make a great breakfast cookie. But anyway, in conclusion for today, thank you for being you guys and actually putting up with me. Know that you're loved. Know that you're accepted no matter what. But most important, accept you. You know, be the person that you want to be and accept you. And the right people will follow. I think that's what I was supposed to take from today. So, you know, these Thankful Thursdays aren't always just for everybody else. They're for me too, because sometimes dead stop in the middle of a sentence, I'll learn something. And it's because I'm talking to you guys. I appreciate that. You guys are a beautiful, beautiful community. Love each other. Love yourself. And I love you guys. You guys have a wonderful day. Be a blessing. Be blessed. And I'll see you at supper.